Ever wonder why your glucose levels seem like a roller coaster ride? Stabilizing them could be simpler than you think. Discover 8 daily habits specifically designed to help seniors maintain consistent glucose levels and improve overall well-being. Top 8 daily habits for glucose stabilization. Number 1, strategic meal planning and timing. All right, let's talk about our first habit. It's all about rethinking how and when you eat, which is truly a cornerstone of managing your blood sugar effectively. So instead of sticking to 3 large meals, have you ever considered breaking down your food intake into smaller, more frequent portions throughout the day? It turns out this approach can really make a big difference in stabilizing those glucose levels. And speaking of timing, consistency is key. I really can't stress that enough. When you eat at regular intervals, your body gets better at anticipating and managing glucose. This helps prevent those dreaded sharp spikes and the crashes that follow, the ones that can leave you feeling tired and a bit grumpy. Eating regularly really supports your body's natural rhythms. Now, this isn't just a nice idea. Nutritional science actually backs this up. Studies have shown that eating smaller, more frequent meals can improve how sensitive your body is to insulin and can also lead to lower average blood sugar levels. What this means is your body gets more efficient at using insulin, which is so important if you're managing diabetes or prediabetes. It's also pretty interesting to understand something called the second meal phenomenon. This can really give you more control over your glucose. Basically, it's about how the nutritional quality of one meal, especially breakfast, can positively affect how your blood sugar responds to your next meal, like lunch. So, starting your day with a balanced first meal really sets a good tone for the rest of the day. So how can you put this into practice? Well, try to schedule your meals and snacks about every 3 to 4 hours. This could look like 3 modest main meals with a couple of nutritious snacks in between. For instance, maybe a handful of almonds for a mid-morning snack, and perhaps a piece of fruit with some cheese in the mid-afternoon. The real key here is planning ahead. That's what makes this habit stick. Number 2. Low-carbohydrate, high-fiber food choices. Moving on to our second habit, it's all about making smart food choices. This is absolutely fundamental for glucose stabilization, and we're going to focus particularly on options that are low in carbohydrates but high in fiber. A really important first step here is to cut back on refined carbohydrates, things like white bread, sugary cereals, and those tempting pastries, which are well known for causing rapid spikes in your blood sugar. So, what should you eat instead? Well, you'll want to prioritize foods that are high in fiber. Fiber is a bit of a superhero because it plays a crucial role in slowing down how quickly glucose is absorbed into your bloodstream. This means you get a more gradual rise in blood sugar after meals, which is a much healthier and gentler incline compared to a sharp surge. And where can you find this amazing fiber? There are so many excellent sources. Think about a wide variety of vegetables, especially those leafy greens and cruciferous veggies like broccoli and cauliflower. Whole grains such as oats, quinoa, and barley are also fantastic choices. And let's not forget legumes like lentils and beans. Oh, and nuts and seeds? They pack a really powerful fiber punch too. Now, when we talk about fruits, it's good to be mindful of their fiber content. Berries, apples, especially with the skin on, and pears are generally great choices because they offer a better balance of fiber to sugar compared to some of the more tropical fruits. And remember, even with these healthier fruit options, portion control is still important. So for practical meal planning with these low glycemic foods, try building your plate around these high fiber, lower carbohydrate options. A good rule of thumb is to fill about half your plate with non-starchy vegetables, a quarter with lean protein, and then the remaining quarter with whole grains or starchy vegetables. It's also worth noting that some research suggests eating most of your carbohydrates earlier in the day can be beneficial for your glucose metabolism, as it aligns better with your body's natural energy use. Number 3, strategic nutrient sequencing. Our third habit might surprise you a little. It's called strategic nutrient sequencing. Believe it or not, the order in which you eat your food during a meal can actually have a significant impact on your blood glucose levels after you eat. The main idea here is to eat your proteins and non-starchy vegetables before you get to the carbohydrates. And there's research to back this up. Studies have shown that this simple change can really help moderate those glucose spikes after a meal. You see, when protein and fiber-rich vegetables get into your digestive system first, they help slow down how quickly the glucose from the carbohydrates you eat next is absorbed. So, a practical tip coming out of these studies is to try and eat your carbohydrate portion about 10 to 30 minutes after you've started on your proteins and vegetables. This timing gives those initial foods a chance to begin digesting and sort of prepares your system for the carbs. Why does this work? Well, protein and fiber can actually influence the release of certain gut hormones that play a role in regulating digestion and insulin secretion. So, by eating them first, you're essentially priming your body for a more controlled response to glucose. Putting this habit into action can be quite straightforward. At every meal, just make a conscious effort to eat your salad, your cooked vegetables, and your protein source, whether that's chicken, fish, tofu, or beans, first. Then, if you can, take a short pause before moving on to your whole grains, starchy vegetables, or fruit. This mindful approach to the order you eat in can be a really powerful tool for managing your glucose. Number 4, proper hydration practices. Let's move on to habit number 4, proper hydration practices. Staying well hydrated is such a simple thing, but it's often overlooked, and it really does play a significant role in managing your blood sugar. There's a definite connection between how hydrated you are and how your body handles glucose. Here's a practical tip that some observations support. Drinking a glass of water, say about 6 to 8 ounces, with your meals can actually help slow down that rise in blood sugar. Water helps with digestion and can also make you feel fuller, which might mean you eat a bit less and absorb glucose more slowly. Now, to make sure you're actually drinking enough water throughout the day, it can be helpful to have a system for tracking it. Maybe you could use a dedicated water bottle with markings or a reminder app on your phone. Or you could simply set small, achievable goals, like making sure you drink a glass of water before every meal and snack. When it comes to the timing of your hydration, it's best to sip water consistently all day long, rather than trying to gulp down large amounts all at once. Keeping a water bottle nearby, at your desk, in your car, or when you're exercising, can make it much easier to make regular hydration a convenient habit. And of course, it's just as important to be mindful of what you're drinking. Those sugary drinks like sodas, sweetened teas, fruit juices, and fancy coffee drinks can really mess with your glucose levels and cause sharp spikes. So your best bet is to opt for plain water, herbal teas, or maybe water infused with a few fruit slices for a bit of flavor. These choices will keep you hydrated without adding any unnecessary sugar. Number 5, incorporating probiotic-rich foods. Our 5th habit takes us into the fascinating world of your gut. The health of your gut microbiome actually plays a surprisingly big role in your overall metabolic health, and that includes how your body regulates glucose. There's emerging research that's highlighting the potential benefits of probiotics for folks who are looking to manage their blood sugar levels more effectively. Some studies have suggested that certain types of probiotics might help lower fasting blood sugar and even improve insulin resistance. Now, while there's still more research being done, the findings so far are pretty promising. They indicate that having a healthy gut environment can really contribute to better glucose metabolism. It also seems that the benefits are even more noticeable when you consume multiple species of probiotics regularly. Generally, a diverse gut flora is considered healthier, and different probiotic strains can work in various ways that, altogether, support your metabolic balance. The good news is, it's pretty easy to get more probiotic-rich foods into your daily diet. Some excellent sources include yogurt that has live and active cultures. Just make sure to look for the unsweetened kinds. Then there's kefir, which is a fermented milk drink. Tempeh from fermented soybeans. Kimchi, that's spicy fermented cabbage. And sauerkraut, which is also fermented cabbage. And there are so many practical ways to add these foods to your meals. You could add yogurt or kefir to your morning smoothie, use tempeh as a plant-based protein in your stir-fries, or simply enjoy kimchi and sauerkraut as tasty side dishes with your lunch or dinner. Bringing these fermented foods into your diet can be a really delicious way to support both your gut health and your glucose stability. Number 6, strategic exercise timing. All right, habit number 6 is all about strategic exercise timing. We all know physical activity is a cornerstone of managing diabetes. But did you know that the timing of your exercise in relation to your meals can actually boost its glucose-lowering benefits? For example, doing some moderate exercise, like a brisk walk about 30 to 60 minutes after you eat, that's when your blood glucose usually starts to peak, can be especially effective. When you exercise after a meal, it helps your muscles soak up glucose from your bloodstream to use for energy. This, in turn, helps to blunt that glucose surge that can happen after you eat. And you know what? Even a short 10 to 15-minute walk after meals can make a noticeable difference in your blood sugar readings. Now, while moderate exercise after meals is great, high-intensity exercise also has its place. It can significantly improve your insulin sensitivity in the long run, but it does require a bit more careful thought about timing in your individual health situation. So, as always, it's a good idea to chat with your healthcare provider before jumping into any new high-intensity workout routine. Interestingly, exercising before a meal can offer benefits too. If you engage in physical activity before you eat, especially if you're in a fasted state for some people, it can actually enhance your insulin sensitivity. This means your body's cells are more responsive to insulin when you do eat, which leads to better glucose uptake. Ultimately, the key is to create a daily movement routine that you can stick with, one that aligns with your meal times and what you enjoy doing. Whether that's a walk after dinner, a bike ride before lunch, or a morning yoga session, consistency is what really matters. And it's good to know that research is increasingly backing up these specific exercise timing recommendations for keeping glucose in check and supporting overall metabolic health. Number 7, stress management techniques. Our 7th habit focuses on something we all experience: stress. And you might be surprised at how significant the connection is between stress and your blood glucose levels. When you're stressed out, your body releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones can actually cause your liver to release more glucose into your bloodstream, which can lead to higher blood sugar levels. The good news is, there are many evidence-based stress reduction techniques that can help counteract this effect and help you keep your glucose stable. Bringing these practices into your daily life can be a really powerful addition to your other glucose management strategies. So what kind of activities are we talking about? Well, things like meditation, even if it's just for 10 to 15 minutes a day, can help calm your nervous system and reduce the production of those stress hormones. Yoga is another great one. It combines physical postures, breathing exercises, and meditation, and it's been shown to be good for both reducing stress and improving glycemic control. And don't forget journaling. It can be a really effective way to process your emotions and lower stress. The trick is to build stress management into your daily routine. This could mean scheduling short mindfulness breaks during your workday, setting aside time for a hobby you find relaxing, or just making sure you have enough downtime in the evenings to truly unwind. And here's something that might be particularly relevant in our super connected world. Taking regular breaks from technology can also, surprisingly, benefit your glucose regulation. Think about it. Constant notifications and all that screen time can really contribute to chronic stress. So, setting some boundaries with your devices, especially before you go to bed, can improve your sleep quality and cut down on overall stress, which in turn indirectly supports healthier blood sugar levels. Number 8, prioritizing quality sleep. And that brings us to our 8th and final habit, prioritizing quality sleep. I really can't overstate how important sleep is for your overall health, and this definitely includes its profound impact on how your body regulates glucose and its sensitivity to insulin. In fact, there's a strong link between not getting enough sleep and an increased risk of insulin resistance, which is a key characteristic of type 2 diabetes. So for most adults, aiming to get a good 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night is really crucial for maintaining a healthy glucose metabolism. If you're consistently not hitting that target, it can disrupt your hormone balance, including the hormones that regulate your appetite and blood sugar. Practicing good sleep hygiene is absolutely essential for improving the quality of your rest. This means things like maintaining a consistent sleep schedule. Yes, even on weekends, by trying to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day. It also helps to create a restful sleep environment. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. Try to avoid stimulants like caffeine and nicotine, especially later in the day, and limit your exposure to that blue light from electronic devices before bedtime. That blue light can really interfere with the production of melatonin, which is your body's natural sleep hormone. And finally, it's important to address any common sleep disruptors. If you're dealing with conditions like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or chronic pain, it's a good idea to seek appropriate medical advice and treatment. These issues can severely impact your sleep quality and, as a result, your blood sugar control. Making quality sleep a priority truly is a foundational habit for better health and more stable glucose levels. So, there you have it. Implementing these 8 daily habits can really make a significant difference in improving your glucose stability and your overall well-being. My advice would be to start by choosing just 1 or 2 habits that really resonate with you. Focus on incorporating them consistently into your life. Keep an eye on your progress, and then gradually build up to a lifestyle that supports healthy blood sugar levels for the long haul. Now I'm curious, which of these 8 habits are you thinking of implementing first? I'd love for you to share your experience in the comments below. And if you'd like more evidence-based health tips like these, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter. Oh, and don't forget to bookmark this article so you can use it as your guide to glucose stability.